Hello and welcome to today's episode of Rainer on Leadership, your online home for leadership lessons and advice for the local church. I am your host, Sam Rainer, and I have with me Thom Rainer, my father, the founder and CEO of Church Answers. Dad, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for welcoming to my own show, Sam. You're welcome to your own show, too.
Well, I just wanted to get your attention. You were looking down at something. I was making sure you weren't dead. So,
Okay, well, that's a good. Yeah, we are. We are on YouTube, aren't we?
We are on YouTube now, and you were looking down at something, and I was a little concerned. And I thought,
look, I got to admit, I received a text, and I was reading the text, and I forgot this was on YouTube as well. So I'm going to get my act together. Hi, people. We're going to have fun.
You're not offending me, really. It's fine. I just think it would have been a very awkward show had it ended that way. And we're out. I would have still thanked our sponsor, though, even if you would have passed away on the show. And we needed to make sure that we do that. So we're glad to have Southeastern Baptist Theological. This is a terrible segue. I'm sorry, Southeastern. I hope you don't mind.
Well, look, Art, who is VP there, will appreciate that. He knows his family, and it's weird sense of humor, and the fact that y'all quite often refer to me in my dead state. So, I mean, we even have plans. We do not have plans to take me out.
That is not true. So stop spreading lies. Southeastern is committed to helping you get the training you need to pursue your ministry from anywhere around the world, and that's why Southeastern is waiving the application fee. So if you want to go check out everything that they offer and go apply for the institution, it's free. So you can use the Church Answers promo code when you check out. That's Church Answers plural. They'll waive the fee. No matter what stage of life's journey you find yourself in, we want to help you take the next step in getting equipped to disciple and teach others. So in coming to Southeastern, you'll find a seminary that isn't just about theological education, it's also about ministry preparation. So go explore degrees, schedule a visit, apply online at sebts.edu. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, that's what this show's about. Mind, don't you?
I can't read your mind.
Now, the audience can't see Amy J, but we can. Amy J, any clue what song? A nod or yes or no?
Oh, they're doing a 60s song.
Yes. Oh, this is the perfect fit. Fun by the Beach Boys. And we'll have fun now that Daddy took the T-Bird away.
You never had a T-Bird?
No, I did not. No, I had a Ford Falcon that hardly moved.
That's not nearly as much fun.
Yes. 1964, maybe. Fun, Beach Boys.
I wouldn't know. I do know the Beach Boys, so on this one, I can relate.
Okay, well, they had a song called Fun, and our topic is 6 simple tips to start having more fun in ministry.
Yeah, I mean, working in ministry can be demanding, it can be stressful, and sometimes we forget what it means to have fun. So we're going to take things to the little lighter side, and we're going to discuss some ways that you can restart fun in your job at the church. So I think the first thing is important. I think it's best to put family first. It's a motto we have at my church. It's a motto we have at Church Answers. Skip a few standing meetings and spend more time with your family. That's the first point. And there's some keys here, a few and standing meetings. So, you don't want to miss important meetings. You don't want to miss the meetings where things are, supposed to happen. You can skip a few of the meetings that, maybe you have a once a month meeting with somebody and you're just going to take 1 month off and you're going to take that time to go hang out with your family. Or you will have a weekly meeting and you want to take that time, go on a lunch date with your wife or your husband. So you can skip 1 or 2 standing meetings and then reallocate that time to your family. And I think that's step number 1. We've got some other more practical steps to do that. But, I try to, one of the things I like to do, Tuesday lunches. I do a lot of Tuesday lunches, and every now and then I'll just take Erin out to eat, my wife, just so everyone's clear, in case you're wondering who Erin is. But
everybody knows who Erin is.
They should. If they don't, they should know.
Yeah. Erin is kind of superwoman at times. Aaron is the one that puts 5 kids in the car with a hurricane coming and saying, we're going to the aquarium.
Yes, that was a recent event. And for clarity, it was a Category 1 hurricane.
A hurricane. Fun is fun.
Well, the thing about being a Floridian is when a hurricane hits, if it's not a very powerful one, it's a great time to go to the amusement parks. It's a great time to get out and see things because nobody's there.
Yeah, true.
But unfortunately, I didn't go. I should have gone with her, but it was kind of a on the whim thing, which is very unusual for my wife to just do something on a whim.
That's not true. That's not. So skip a few standing meetings, go spend more time with your family. That's a good way to have fun.
I think that's a good start. Another idea here to kind of kickstart fun in your ministry is to call an old friend and just go on a weekend road trip together.
I'm not doing that.
Well,
I'm not going to call an old friend and say, let's go somewhere together.
Really?
I'm not going to call a new friend. Well, I did take Brad Wagner to the SEC championship, and so
there you go.
So, but that's I guess, yeah, he classifies an old friend.
He's an old friend, and you went on a road trip together.
Yeah, he's old, and he's a friend, yeah.
Well, I mean, one of the things I like to do is to go to ball games. So, I'll take somebody, let's just go to a Rays game. And if we're really feeling it, driving over there, Miami Marlins game, although the Rays are way more fun to watch than the Marlins, for those of you who follow baseball. But whatever it is.
And the Lightning, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, Stanley Cup champions. Yes.
2 years in a row.
Back to back. Yeah. And this is not a sports show, so I will avoid the sports analogies. But
it's not a 60s show, but I'm going to talk about fun.
Well, it is. I do live in Champa Bay because
yes,
we're winners. So we'll see. We'll see if the Rays.
We're now the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, I'm hoping for a Rays World Series, but we'll see.
We'll see. So that can be fun. I took Wagner to an SEC football championship game. Of course, Alabama was playing, and at halftime they introduced the most valuable players from previous SEC football games. And there was one from Auburn that was an MVP that was there. And when they introduced him, the boos were so loud. It was as loud as if Alabama had scored a touchdown at this halftime. And Wagner could not get over the intensity of the rivalry that Auburn's not even playing in that game. But one of the MVPs of a previous SEC championship game is being introduced, and the Alabama fans, who are much greater in number, are just booing that poor guy to smithereens. He said, "This is not right. This is not. What are you people are sick."
So, have you ever been on a crazy road trip with a church member? Can you think of one? Because I can.
Oh, with a church member?
Well, yeah, or an old friend. But this is a show about being a leader in a church. I was just curious if you'd ever been on a wild road trip with a church member.
Well, Wagner and I, again, were doing a consultation in Miami, and we, on a whim, with our 2 wives, well, we each have 1 wife, decided to go to Key West. we decided to go to Key West, and
that's a long drive.
You think Miami, Key West, most people say, oh, yeah, that's just the bordering area over there in Florida. Well, going to the Keys is one thing. I mean, if we stopped at Key Largo, that would have been one thing. But to go all the way to Key West and to try to make it by sunset. And why do we have to go by sunset? You can watch sunset on any Florida beach. The wives wanted to do it, so we're trying to book it. You can't pass much on Key West freeway.
No, there's not much to that overseas highway.
And so we get there just a little bit late. We're rushing toward the beach where you see the sunset, and we just miss it. And what we realized is that Brad and I had gotten ahead of our wives, and 2 guys are rushing together to go see the sunset. And we just started. He just paused. He said, "Rainer, you realize what's going on? Our wives are way back there, and the 2 of us are rushing to see the sunset together." That was kind of funny. And at that very moment, a monkey goes by riding a dog.
Yeah, you just explained Florida, in one sentence right there.
Yeah.
That is my love. That is my home right there.
I mean, the dog had the reins. The monkey had the reins, was pulling on the dog, and we kick him on the side to tell him to go. And I'm trying to see, is there an owner anywhere? And I didn't see
Probably
an
not.
owner.
Probably not.
And I think that Brad and I were the only ones that were amazed. It's kind of everybody else says, "Oh, there goes a monkey on a dog."
So I had a church member one time, and the only way I know how to describe him. This was a previous church, not my current church, and I really love this guy. It's just he was an off the grid mountain man, and literally no electricity, no internet, no nothing. He lived, quote unquote, in the hollers, and was completely off the grid. And one day he told me that he wanted to take me somewhere, so we we drove way back, and I don't even know where this was, but we drove way back, and we come to this spot that's got a pretty significant cliff, and he starts bringing out some rope, and I'm just going, what on earth is going on? And he ended up taking me rappelling. So we had a good time, and he just assumed I knew how to rappel, but I had to have him explain some things to me before I jumped off the side of that cliff.
What town were you pastoring then?
That was in Murray, Kentucky.
Oh, wow. I could have guessed it was Murray the way you, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have anything like that now here in
You would not have any natural rappelling in Bradenton.
No.
But you have rappelled off of a building before.
I did. That's a whole nother story. Legally, I did, yes, rappel off the side of a building.
Yes.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. You know where I learned? You know where I learned to rappel off the side of a building?
Your wife?
No, Mr. Mountain Man. He taught me how to do all that.
Oh, I remember watching that on YouTube, and your mom and I were scared to death. What was it? 10-story building?
No, it was more than that, but we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. Okay, we need to move on. Humor in sermons is appropriate. It can become excessive. And
yeah. So
you need to have some levity in it.
Yeah, I mean, the first two are kind of more interpersonal, reintroducing fun into your ministry. It's more about you and being with a friend, or you or being with the family. But, let's move into something that's a little bit more practical in terms of applying to your whole church. Just, practice using humor. And understand, humor can fall flat. Humor can, you can not land the joke. I get that. You can jump off that cliff and your rappelling equipment not be working, and it can hurt when you land because, the joke just didn't work. But I do think, just lightening things up a little bit and having some humor in your sermons, practicing that humor. Some people are better than others, and others are more natural at it than others. But it is a way to lighten things up a bit. And by the way, humor, when we say humor, the best kind of humor for a sermon is self-deprecating. I would not recommend, if you're an unskilled comedian, to try to poke at others in your church as humorous. It's ill-advised and will likely not go over well. But use some humorous. There's some humorous biblical illustrations. There's humor in the Bible. Pull some more humor into your sermons, I guess, is one way to just kind of lighten things up a little bit.
Sometime back, many years ago, I sent you boys a book, and I think the name of it was Levity. Do you remember
The Levity Effect? It's an excellent book.
Effect.
It's dated now, but at the time, it was a great book.
I'm trying to think back on it and think if there's any principle there that is dated. I don't think so.
Probably not. I would imagine it's still a good read. And the whole point of the book is that some of the best leaders lead from a posture or from a place of levity. They have fun in their environment, and they introduce fun in their leadership.
Two of my favorite historical U.S. presidents, number one would be Abraham Lincoln, and then number two would be Ronald Reagan. And both of them used humor a lot. Now, I don't remember hearing Lincoln personally a lot, but I do remember hearing Ronald Reagan a lot. And he had a lot of self-deprecating humor as well.
Yeah, Reagan was certainly the master of it. And if you want to study somebody who was at the highest levels of leadership and used humor, I think Reagan, whatever your politics are, whatever you think about the guy, it's kind of undeniable that he was really good at using humor to lighten the mood and to get a point across as well.
All right. Historical footnote, and even though the time is tight, I'm just going to get it. Do you remember the humor that he used in the debate with Walter Mondale?
Okay, so Mondale was that's not There You Go Again. Is that the one where he said he paid for the room?
Well, those are good examples. There you go again. One of the big debate questions, that one of the issues of this political race, was Reagan too old to run for president?
Ah, yes, I know this one. Yes.
And ironically, the last two presidents that were elected that we're talking about now were older than he. But the debate, one of the debate interviewers said, Mr. Reagan, a lot of people are debating about whether or not you are capable at your. Do you think age should be an issue? That's how they ask it. Do you think age should be an issue in the presidency? And he had this frown on his face. He looked very angry. He said, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm getting tired of this, and I'm going to address it once and for all. I want everybody to hear me. I don't think the youthfulness of my opponent should be an issue in this race.
Yeah, it's a great moment. Great moment.
And you looked over there, not only is the audience just rolling, but Mondale, who just was an affable figure himself, even though he lost 49 states, he couldn't stop laughing himself. He almost had trouble gaining his composure for the rest of the debate. Are those the good old days? Maybe so.
No, I think there's better days in front of us.
All right. How about the meal with faithful supporters?
Yeah, another way to lighten things up, bring some fun into the picture of your leadership is to take a group of your supporters out for a meal. And it could be, you don't have to take them all out all at the same time, but hey, these three families have just been so integral to supporting the church, supporting me. They're my best encouragers. Flip it around and just say, hey, I want to take you out to the fish taco place or something. It doesn't even have to be expensive, and just say, it's on me. You guys have just been an incredible encouragement to me. I want to be an encouragement to you. A lot of times it will, well, I think mainly, when you're an encouragement to others, it lifts your spirits. So, pick out, a handful of supporters, take them out for a meal. And as you lift their spirits, I believe in most cases your spirits will be lifted. And it's also just a good thing to do in ministry, is to say thank you. And sometimes pastors can forget to do that, just to say thanks. The other thing that I will say is something that I enjoy doing, but can be quite dangerous, and that's practical jokes. I love practical jokes. I absolutely.
Be careful with practical jokes.
So I'm gonna tell one that's probably going to be viewed as largely largely inappropriate. Let me just say that.
Great. More critics for the Rainers. Here we go.
So I love fake poo jokes. And I've used fake dog poo on the floor. There is actually poo soap, which is hilarious. And you can get it at, Amazon or wherever you find things. And I'm not going to get into the details of those practical jokes. But let's just say, in all the cases where I've done them, one, it involved one of my assistants screaming at the top of her lungs, wondering what dog got in there. And two, it involved one of my worship pastors absolutely just writing up a report and thinking that somebody had gone in his sink with the poo soap. So, I just anyway, you can get creative with fake poo, and I would encourage you. And you learned it first here on Rainer on Leadership, that practical jokes involving fake poo are absolutely something you should do in your ministry to lighten the load. No pun intended.
Oh boy, this one, we won't edit this one, but it'll be fun. So my favorite is poop cocky poo poo soap bar. And it comes in a gift box.
Oh, that is brilliant. That is disgusting and brilliant.
That's on Amazon.
It's amazing. You can't go wrong with fake poo. You just can't. And the soap is just unreal. I mean, especially after you wash your hands with it, it just absolutely is. No, it is real. That's what it looks real.
How about this going out on a night with your leadership team and their spouses?
Yeah, last one. We're at point 6. So yeah, take a night out. Some of your leadership, all of your leadership team, that may be staff, that could be volunteers, just whoever it is, and take everyone with their spouses, go out, and everyone can pay for themselves. It doesn't even have to be something you pay for, and just pick something and have a good time. It could be a ball game, it could be bowling, it could be a beach day with families. There's all sorts of things to do there. Just take some time with your leadership team. Downtime together is good. It will help build rapport with the team. It will lift the spirits of the team. It will strengthen relationships on the team. Just take that time and spend it with each other, the families. You need to get your families together in ministry because it's hard enough alone. We're all in this. We're all called together as a family. So act as a family together with your leadership team, whoever they are.
And I think even though I have asked you to take the moderation of this podcast because I have workers outside making some loud noises, they're gone for now. So I will close with this. And by the way, I realized I did something. I put the picture of the poo for sale on Amazon so you could see it. I forgot that many of you listen to this and you would not be seeing anything on the screen. That's for you YouTube viewers that I put it on the screen for you to see. Just want to let you know that we're both audio and we're on YouTube as well.
What would really be great if somebody got a screen grab of you and made a meme out of you holding up poo.
You've just given a lot of people ideas, and watch those cards and letters start coming. We want to thank Vanderbloemen, our sponsor. They serve churches, schools, nonprofits, value-based businesses, or just a family office. Vanderbloemen would be honored to serve you. Their team's goal is to empower yours by aligning your people solutions for growth. That includes hiring, compensation, succession, and culture. Hire the right people, pay them well, plan for the future, build a culture that lasts. Learn more at vanderbloemen.com. They're in the show notes. Type Vanderb and it'll just pop up in any Google search. You can find our friend William Vanderbloemen really easily on the web. Thanks again for joining us here today on Rainer on Leadership. Continue watching us on YouTube, whether it's PooTube or no PooTube. Well, you can come to YouTube, or you can subscribe on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app. Join us online at churchanswers.com, where we are growing healthy churches together.